what's going on, guys? I'm here with legendary survivalist Gary Golding and crazy scavenger from the survival challenge, Naked and Afraid. And I gotta warn you guys, don't fall asleep around this man because he's known for eating body parts.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Yeah, if you fall asleep around me, you will wake up different. Your life may change.
Gary, I've never fallen. I'm not going camping with you. I'm not drinking alcohol with you. I'm not taking melatonin around you.
I am known for eating anything.
What's the craziest thing you've ever ate?
The craziest thing I've ever ate that I'm known for eating went viral around the world was a dead baby dolphin off the beach in California.
So you just walked up and saw a dead baby dolphin?
Yeah, there was a dead baby dolphin on the beach in California, and the seagulls were scavenging it. And
How long do you think it was there for?
I don't know. I think it was there for 1 day on the beach, but it could have been 3 days at sea. I don't know.
You just walked up to it, and then what'd you do? You picked it up and...
No, I butchered it right on the beach. There was people gathering around watching, and just like, oh, what's this guy doing? and I was like, just getting a bite to eat.
Did people say anything to you?
They just stood around and watched. It was early in the morning, so there wasn't too many, but yeah.
You just had a knife on you, ready to go.
Yeah, because I was going snorkeling. My snorkeling knife, I did have a knife.
So you're like, forget snorkeling, let's have some breakfast.
Yeah. I butchered it, stuck it in a bag, and then snorkeled, and then went and ate it afterwards, yeah.
How did it taste?
It didn't taste too good. It did. It might have been dead at sea for a few days, yeah.
Oh, so you think it was bad? It was like rotten?
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't use the word bad when it comes to me. Maybe rotten, but bad. I wouldn't say bad. Gary Golding wouldn't say bad.
How long did the meat last you from the dolphin?
I'll tell you a funny story about that.
Okay.
There was a homeless guy on the beach named Kevin, and he wouldn't even eat it. I remember he goes, dude, he goes, you're like 3 degrees away from cannibalism, bro. And he was, and so,
it's wild when even the homeless won't eat
the
meal.
Yeah, the homeless guy wouldn't eat it. My dog, Frankie, wouldn't take a bite. I remember, I go, what do you know that I don't? Yeah.
Wow.
When a dog won't eat it, I was told this story that the natives used to try to feed meat to the wolves, their pet wolves, and if the wolf wouldn't eat it, they wouldn't. But I'll eat what the wolves won't. I think it's obvious. Even the other survivalists look at me like, dude, like, you're eating that? I'm like, yeah. I have a YouTube video. I'm feeding 50 people on Skid Row from a trash dumpster. For like a couple of years, I lived out of trash dumpsters.
Okay, so explain that to me.
Well, it was kind of a display to show how much, because of my message, how much we waste in America in the trash. So I would go there, and man, when I went there, there was wild caught coho salmon. There was eggs 3 weeks from expiration, and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow.
It was way better than I thought. And so then I cooked it up, and I fed it to the homeless on Skid Row, and then all these comments saying, how dare you feed them garbage. It's funny how people will find things wrong with something beautiful.
That's an interesting way.
They didn't know that the eggs were 3 weeks from expiration, and the chicken was not expired either. Free-range chicken, everything.
You just found this all at the dumpster, cooked it up.
And
did you eat some of it too?
Yeah, and it's almost like that Jesus thing where, that story where he feeds 4,000 people with a loaf of bread and a couple fish.
5 loaves of bread, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was kind of like taking that take on it, like, this is considered nothing right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to feed, it's trash. I'll feed the homeless with it's called nothing.
I always say that the 5 loaves of bread wouldn't work today in LA because everyone's like, we're gluten, Jesus, we're gluten.
I'll tell you the truth. I've lived off raccoons off the streets of LA. I've lived off squirrels off the streets of California. Yeah, I've eaten squirrels, raccoons, dolphins, alligator, penis. Tastes like, it was like a cartilage tapioca because it fell apart like that, like tapioca, but cartilagey. And when COVID first hit, I was like, damn, I'm gonna be eating good. I didn't know how bad COVID was going to be, and I thought, wow, if this gets really bad, I'll never go hungry. With my immune system.
So people are going to start thinking you're on bath salts.
Right, I know, right? I mean, my reputation is so far out there that I saw, Dave Attell, the comedian?
Yeah.
He was talking about me on Joe Rogan.
Okay.
One day.
What did he say?
He said, that they were talking about how, like, the food, like, it's diseased, and if it's rotten, it probably has a plague in it and stuff or something. And then Dave Attell goes, oh, no, not that, man. You ever watch that Naked and Afraid? That one guy, the scrounger or the scavenger? He goes, oh, he knows, oh, man, he knows his stuff. He could deplague it, and he cooks it up, man. That's what he does. And so...
You're like a warlock. He's like, you deplague it?
So someone sent me that and said, hey, they're talking about you on Joe Rogan, and they're definitely talking about me, because that's what I'm known for on the show.
Yeah.
And so David Tell was telling Joe Rogan how I could do it. You give it to me. If you think it's bad, Gary Golding can eat it. Which is true.
How was the raccoon?
The raccoon was delicious. So I was driving down the road in Palos Verdes one day, and I saw a raccoon, and I was pulled over and picked it up, threw it in my ice chest, and I ate it a week later.
You ate the squirrel, you ate the...
4 squirrels. I lived off 4 squirrels for 2 days. I lived off of a raccoon for like...
How's the squirrel?
Squirrels delicious. Squirrels, because they were big, healthy gray squirrels, yeah.
What was the first animal that you ate that you found that was deceased, that you just...
Oh, that I ate?
Yeah, that you were like, I'm going to go ahead and try to eat this, because...
Oh, okay.
How did you get it into that?
I would have to say the first animal that happened with would be the Nyala that I ate on XL4 on my Naked and Afraid challenge. I found a big dead... Oh, no. My partners, Jeremy and Trent, on like day 2 or 3, found a dead impala that wild dogs ate and brought it back. It was fresh because we heard the dogs killing it in the night.
Yeah.
They found the carcass, and that's the first one. And I lived off that for days.
So
I
what
ate the-
made you...
I ate the tongue, the brains, the eyeballs, and the marrow, and the heart, and everything from that animal. But then the real one that was gnarly was a big nyala, a big antelope that was killed by a leopard and had maggots all over the back end, and nobody else would really want to eat that. And I lived off that head for a week.
And what made you go, okay, I'm going to eat this? It has the maggots in it, but I'm going to eat it. What made you go, I'm going to do it?
Starvation.
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 No, because I say this because the rest of the survivalists, they want nothing to do with it, correct?
Yeah, I was thinking to myself when that happened, I was like, what do you know? Is there a pizza place around here? like what's going on? How come I'm being genuine. I was like, why in fact I came up with a saying on that challenge that they use, and it's basically, if you're not willing to eat maggots, you don't really want to survive. If you're not willing to eat maggots, you're not really a survivalist. That's the baseline if I was teaching a survival course.
How did you feel when the rest of the survivalists were like, no, we're not going to eat this? Did it make you angry? Or
Yeah, I actually picked on them a little bit. And only to try to engage their ego so they would eat. I was trying to share, but they took it wrong because I kind of like acted like I told them, I said, if you don't eat any of this, I'm gonna pick on you. And they got all bitter and pissed off at me, and they would talk crap about me. So then I started rubbing it in and eating it for a week. While they were just starving, I started just eating this head, and they were just like, dude, and there was flies all over it. It was good.
Now, was there any hesitation eating with the maggots?
No, not too much. Not
Really?
on my part.
Not at all?
Nah.
You were like, I got this.
Yeah, I was. It's funny how people try to tell me how it works when it comes to eating meat.
Yeah.
And like how I'm gonna get sick, and I think I'm the one that should be giving out advice. I'm the expert. I think I've proven my point.
You'll eat anything. You'll climb into trees like, 40 feet up?
No, that tree was probably 65 feet up.
Now, when you do that and you're climbing on the challenge, are the producers like, hey, maybe don't do that because if you fall, you could just die?
I'm crazy enough to where I have had them say, please don't do that.
Really? Like, what did you do that they were like, please?
Oh, there's a scene where I'm in a tree on a mountaintop doing a Tarzan yell, and surveying the landscape, and there was another tree sticking out of the rocks outwards straight. It was growing out of the hillside straight, and nothing below it. And I wanted to go out there and hang by one arm and just dangle there and like do a Tarzan yell. And that's one where they said, please don't do that. Like, that's almost sure death.
Now, how did you end up getting on this show? Like, how do they pick, how do they find survivalists?
Okay, that's a good question. I saved a human life in the ocean, and it was all caught on camera. And
Really?
yeah, and it went viral. That's the first time it went viral, for saving a human life in the ocean in Palos Verdes, on the coast of California, on a very rough day. And I brought this kid back with CPR and brought him back, and so that was all over the news. And some people that worked for them kind of looked into me and were like, "Whoa!" And then they saw I was a teacher that taught wilderness survival and nature and stuff, and they were like, "Wow, this guy's." And then I was an actual survivalist. I was studied survival, and they were like, "You know, he saved a life. He teaches children. He's a survivalist." Like, my background was perfect, and then they put me on there, and then of course I'm a little out there, and that makes good, interesting fodder to watch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I remember watching the show, and there's a part where you guys caught like an alligator, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And then you were taking the eyeballs and going like this.
I know. I actually put them in and clamped down. I didn't have
Clamp
to have
down.
my-
Yeah, you clamped down.
And then I was doing that thing what you do with quarters, but only with the actual alligator eyeballs. And the details, I made sure the slits were the proper way. And so I wanted to, and I was just joking around. And now that got me sick, and that's why I had to leave. Because I was thinking, these are raw, they just could make me sick. And then the next day or two, I had a gnarly headache behind my eyes, and I think that took me out. Because, you know, reptiles have bacteria.
Did you ever find out what it was that?
They never found out. They tested me for the flu, for COVID, for Lyme disease, and for, I think, malaria. And nothing showed up.
Is that the worst you've ever been sick?
No. My first challenge, I got third-degree burns down my throat, and I injured my kidneys severely, and I had to be helicoptered. I had to be rushed out of the wilderness on a stretcher with an IV, and then helicoptered the next day to a hospital in Brazil on IV for 5 days. Yeah, I thought I was going to die. I was vomiting profusely.
And that was from?
That was from eating a fruit I could eat raw, but when I roasted it, the experts didn't even know. It turned into a super acid and started burning me up. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a fruit out there in Brazil called the cashew. It's where the cashew comes from, the little nut inside the fruit, but it's a fruit. And it's kind of like, if you handle it and eat it and you don't pay attention and you like rub it on your face, your skin, and the sun, I heard it burns you up. So like little weird stuff that you never thought of can just screw you up that you never thought of. Like something as simple as a piece of fruit.
How many days were you into the challenge when that happened? Like that you had to?
It looked like I was going to
evacuated?
finish, and I made it today, I think, 15 or 16.
Damn. And it was so bad that you were like?
I thought I was going to die. I really did have a fear that I looked into the camera and I said, if I die, tell my mom I love her. And I said, and if I die, you better show this shit because I have a message for the world and don't make me die for nothing. I said that.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't want to die for nothing because if I died, they probably wouldn't show the episode, but I told them, show it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as they were putting me in the ambulance and the cameramen were there and stuff, I told them too, said, this episode, if I die, you better play this episode. And I didn't want to die for nothing.
Yeah, and this is your message. You actually have this tattooed on your back.
Yeah, it's tattooed on my back. Yeah. Right there.
Consume as little as possible. It's about cooperation, not competition.
Yeah, I'm here for the children and the animals of the world, it says. Yeah.
So what does the message mean? What does consume as little as possible?
That's a good question. What happens when you start researching, there's people that think that if they're vegan, that they have some kind of hierarchy on like protecting the planet. But when you look into things, the people that your clothes are from slavery and the cotton takes a bunch of water and there's a documentary called The Dark Side of Chocolate. There's a documentary called The Price of Sugar, and even the sugar in your coffee. Everything you touch makes an impact. And so it takes out the debate. So some people are anti-plastic. Well, plastic isn't bad, you see, because Plastic is also, if you needed bottled water to be dropped into a hurricane zone, like Hurricane Katrina, it could be positive and save lives. So it's how you use it and to what degree you use it. So this touches on everything, takes all the debate out of it. So no matter what you're into, what you like, whether it's eating meat, using gas for your car, try to use as little as possible, consume as little as possible of everything. That's it. Then there's no debate. Doesn't matter what you're into.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. How long ago did you get the tattoo?
I did my first challenge. Oh, and this is a good factoid. I'm the only survivalist allowed to wear his logo on his clothing on the challenge, on the interviews and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, if you pay attention, you'll notice.
And that's because...
That's because they believe in it.
I love that.
It's that beautiful to them, to discovery and everything. And so then after my first challenge, I knew I was going to go to Africa, which would be, if I made it all the way, 10 episodes, and my name would be bigger. And so 2 weeks before I went to the wilderness, I figured I really believe in this, so I owe it to the world to make sure it's seen. And I got a tattoo to my back, so that way it wouldn't, every time my back was to the camera, I'm carrying a message to the world.
Oh, that's great.
And I've infiltrated mainstream media where they're trying to sell you things, telling you to not buy things.
Yeah.
And I'm general enough that they allow it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant to have it just...
And that's why the tattoo and this is done in a minimalistic format, just block letters. Very legible, not some decorative. And I claim it to be the most powerful tattoo on earth, the most highly functioning tattoo on earth, because it doesn't say mom or it actually is a directive that tells you what to do to make the planet a cleaner place. If everybody did this today, the planet would be cleaner by tomorrow.
Yeah.
No matter what you're into.
So when they first hit you up and asked you to be on the show, and they gave you the whole concept, what were you thinking? Were you like, oh, this is nuts? Were you excited? Were you nervous?
Oh, I was both, yeah. I was like, oh man, like, I know I'm going to be put through a meat grinder.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that I was going to suffer. And you fear that you're going to die. We really signed up to die. Like, in case people are wondering, there's cameras in the daytime, but in the nighttime, they all go home. They really leave you alone.
Yeah.
They really leave you alone.
I noticed that. It's like they just set up some nighttime, because the animals are coming right by your boma.
Yep. And
sometimes they'll even push up on it.
Yeah. The challenge I was on, and they told the girls that some poachers got eaten by lions.
Yeah.
In the area they were at. When everybody goes home, we are left to fend for ourselves, for real.
So you were nervous going on the first challenge, and what was the thing that you thought you were most nervous about?
Okay, this is where it got real. The very first day, we hike in, me and my partner, the girl, and then as the sun's going down, the cameramen all pack up, and the producers and the sound guys, and they all leave. And you're like, and that's when it clicks, and you're like, oh, this is real. This is real. And then, like a day or two later, my partner left. And then I was like, this just got more real. I'm out here by myself in the middle of the Brazilian wilderness. And then, that's your first time when you're a newbie, and then it clicks, and you're like, this is real.
Did it make you even more nervous when your partner left? Like,
now I'm by myself.
Because
you don't have someone to bounce things off up, and did you hear that? And like, maybe even look the other way or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but I like being alone. I liked it. I was like, well, that just kind of leaves me to not have to run anything by anybody and argue.
When you were going to the challenge initially, when you first signed up and they're taking you over there, what was the thing that you found out once you got there was the hardest?
Oh, man. The most fearful, what was hard, there was blood-sucking flies. They came out every time the sun went down, but the sun was up, but when it cooled off, and they would suck my blood for 3 hours. Yeah, and then when the sun dropped, it got dark, they can't see in the night or something, they would disappear, but God, they sucked my blood so much. And then you gotta understand, when you got blood-sucking flies, it's audible and visual, because they're biting and you're watching blood. They're big enough to where you bleed, and then the tiny flies go on that blood, and they're trying to drink out of your eyeballs, the tiny flies, and get in your nose. So it's audible, it's visual, and it's actual physical bites and pain. And so, man, they would wear me down emotionally, and I'd start having complete blurred vision. They would wear me down, yeah. Oh. Yeah. The insects are often the toughest part.
Yeah.
And then the second, I would say missing the ones you love.
One of the episodes I saw, there was a girl that came into the camp, and you were like, hey, I think that she's vibing me, and I'm vibing her. You found her attractive, and you're like, there's sexual tension. I can feel it right now.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Sarah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah and I were really close. She would pick figs with me, and yeah.
Did she pick anything else with you?
No, Sarah, no, nothing happened between Sarah and I, but we were super tight. We would build shelters together, and we were really tight though. And so they were. It was more that the other people were curious,
Yeah, let me ask you. You thought when you met her that there was some sexual tension. Then after the show, did you feel that maybe you were wrong on the sexual tension, or do you feel that there's still that?
Well, I mean, come on, look at me.
I mean, you're the Tarzan of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
geez, of course there was. No, I'm just kidding.
there wasn't? Yeah.
Nah, there really wasn't.
What made you think that there was sexual tension?
Well, what you didn't see
Okay.
on the telly was her and I slept together every night. She was skinny and cold, and then we would build our shelters together every night. We had the same concept, so we were a team. That was why we were a team, and so there's a point where you wonder, you're out there, you're vibing really good on a team survival level. You kind of, it's almost a little, it's natural. It's natural. Yeah, I mean, and then you know how hard it is to lay next to someone and cuddle and go, stay down.
Oh, it's hard, huh?
Yeah, you gotta to have to focus that direction.
Have you?
I'm used to focusing the other direction. Come on, boy.
Has anyone ever had talked about it? Yeah. So last night I was laying with somebody and I got a little poke in the back. Does that ever?
Yeah.
People really?
Yeah, that happens.
And is it awkward or is it just? I'm no longer sleeping with this person at night or for body warmth?
Yeah, there's little weird things that happen. My first partner, Kara, she had a husband, and she told me that he taught her how to cuddle without touching body parts because of he learned in the military.
I thought military it's nuts to butts.
Is it? She lied. No, just kidding. No, but so she told me that he learned this, and so he made sure to teach her how to cuddle out there properly. And maybe it is nuts to butts, but I doubt that's what he taught her. Now that I think about it, he probably told her it's like the way we do it in the military, babe, is back to back.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
That's what I would teach my girl.
Hold a hole, not hold a hole.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Part of the challenge is the draw of that is to wonder about that attraction. That's why it's a common question. On that note, talking about eating and stuff, I thought I brought something over. I figured we could share a meal together.
Yeah.
Break some bread.
Let's do it. What do you got in mind?
Well, I brought Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, I love oysters.
He likes oysters. Really?
Yeah.
So, yeah. You ever seen oysters look like that?
No.
That would be a pretty big shell, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you eat oysters raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain oysters are different, and it's not because the clams are bigger in the Rocky Mountains. No. So I'm glad you like oysters because these ones will drive you nuts. Okay, you want to try some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, because see all the veins in there? It's all veiny and stuff.
Yeah.
You see, because Steve, Rocky Mountain oysters are actually bull testicles. Okay. And so you're gonna eat bull testicles with me, and that's what we're having for din tonight.
Oh.
Right? You're gonna eat this.
Yeah, I'll try.
No, you're not gonna try. You're gonna eat my nuts.
They're so big.
Oh. Well, thank you, but let's not change the subject.
Bull testicles. Those are massive bull testicles. Those are insane. I can't imagine what the penis size is. You know, I gotta tell you about this. You know, Snoop Dogg says, what do you call it when you put nuts on a chest?
Chestnuts?
Yes.
By an open fire?
Yeah. What do you call it when you put nuts on a wall?
Walnuts?
What do you call it when you put nuts on a chin? A dick in your mouth.
Okay.
How many balls have you ate in your life?
I've had alligator balls. I've had warthog testicles, and I believe I had impala testicles. And if you fall asleep around me, I might have human testicles. You're gonna eat some testicles.
I can't believe you brought this to my house.
If I can eat
Man
nuts.
up, Steven. Man up.
Steve is about to eat nuts with me, Gary Golding. This might make you cringe a little.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got to take the skin off, okay? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you fall asleep around me, I want you to take notes here because this is exactly what's going to happen to your nuts. Oh. Yeah, you think I'm kidding? I think I've kind of proven
You're
myself.
brutalizing those nuts.
I do this in the wild butt naked. I've handled more nuts naked for a straight man than you've ever known. Do you know how many naked men I've hugged in my life as a straight man? More than you, I guarantee you.
But how many is a game?
I don't know. What? How many is? How many is a game? Well, I got me a little lard.
Okay.
This is actual lard. That's actual pig fat because vegetable oil is terrible for you. We're gonna have some healthy nuts.
Let's do it.
Okay. The good thing about lard, we use it for skin moisturizer. We use fat in Africa and in hot environments for moisturizers. For moisturizer.
So you can use that lard.
It's a good lip balm and everything. So, like,
Use it as deodorant too.
So if you want, if you want any moisture out, do you need any? Put some on your nuts.
I don't know why I was gonna let you do it for a second.
Here.
I don't want any moisturizer. I'm
No,
good.
but
I'm
really,
good.
we use lard for like lip balm, and use it for moisturizer in the wild. For real. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's pig fat. That's lard. You know, that's why. And then you wonder why, at my age, I got this healthy, youthful sheen about me. Lard. That's why I carry a tub of lard everywhere I go. All right. Wow. So, anyways, here we go. A little bit of lard. Throw some lard in there. Get that lard going. And we're going to have fried nuts, my friend. You know how many people, this is true. You know how many people I've been in the wild with and I brought back something and actually some of the other survivalists said to me, I always told myself I would never eat anything Gary Golding brought back. Well, you're about to eat bull nuts with me. Now, if you're going to eat any kind of weird food, any kind of weird animal parts, I'm the guy. I'm the guy, especially nuts and penises. Woo! All right. Woo! Here we go. Come on, let's get a tight shot at it. Come on, people, get in here. Look at that. Look at my hot nuts. Uh-oh, I don't want to get a grease fire going. There we are, frying some bull nuts.
Oh, no, no. Ah, no. No, Gary.
I don't know. Hey. Well, so I'm going to eat nuts. And with the way he's acting after I eat these nuts, I'm going to eat him for dessert. So I'm eating pussy. Woo!
Oh, my word.
Well, Steve, here we are. Bull testicles. These are bull nuts. And what I want to do, now here's how we're going to do this. Me and Matt did this on a challenge together. We ate warthog testicles. Okay?
Okay.
And we wrapped arm in arm and we ate the testicles together. So you and I are going to go arm in arm and we're going to eat nuts together. Nice, big nuts.
I've never had any kind of testicles.
Really?
I've never had any testicles.
Really? Well, after this, maybe we should go out later and have a drink. So anyways, now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
So I'll take this one because
Okay.
it still has that meaty, tough stuff on it. You could take the one that's skinned.
Okay.
Grab your nuts.
Ooh, it's juicy.
What you think? Of course it is. So we're gonna wrap arm in arm.
Arm in arm.
And you and I, let's get our face this way. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready to eat some nuts?
Let's do it.
Let's take a bite of the nuts. What do you think? Well, do you prefer? It's a salty nuts.
Oh yeah.
It's like, kind of tastes like the bull went for a jog. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I can live off that. I've lived off worse. Steve ate bull testicles with Gary Golding.
Out of all the nuts you've ate, alligator, impala, warthog, right?
Yeah.
And now bull testicle, what would you rank them?
And I've
As far as
had
taste.
squirrel nuts. I think I take a little taste in Africa one time. So I've had some nuts. I would say, well, here's the thing. For those of you, they're kind of like a meatball texture, right? They're kind of like a turkey meatball. They don't taste like a red meat. So that one thing I've learned is warthog testicles, impala testicles kind of have a sort of a turkey meatball texture. They're pretty darn good. So I would say I like those warthog testicles. I did warthog testicles.
That's number one.
Yeah, they were really good.
What would you consider number two?
This,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. I'm happy that I'm in the top two.
Now look, this is a skin. That's a skin. Now that looks tough. Okay, that's why they skin them usually. Wow.
How's the skin?
I don't know, ain't no skin off my nuts. But it's all right.
Yes.
But nothing like the insides. So, in case you're wondering, Rocky Mountain oysters, bull testicles, kind of taste like turkey meatballs.
All right, so we got Bean over here to do the true test.
Bean. Let's see if Bean wants some. You want some Bean?
Oh my God.
Bean likes nuts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, wait here.
You see him slamming the table.
Bean. The ball's in your court, Bean. The ball's in your court. Come on, Bean. What we found out is that Bean can't get enough of Gary Golding's balls.
Nope, Bean cannot. I think I turned more than you on to nuts, but your dog too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bean.
And you know what? He still has his nuts. We didn't take them from him, so.
If you get hungry.
No. No, Gary. No. Bad Gary. Bad Gary.